Hey, it's Sunday night. So you know what that means? It's time for Learning with Lynn. So I am Lynn Huber.
And I'm Richard.
And this is Richard. I want to thank you for being out here today. If you're here, say hi. If you're watching the replay, be sure to type replay so we know you were here. And let me move some things around so that I can share my screen with you. Okay, so let's see. Come on. There you go. You are seeing my screen. So I hope that you are. It looks like we have one person watching. So be sure to say hi so we know you're here. And let's talk. Let's talk about this really quick. So this is my blog. This is onlinebeautybiz.com. This is where we have training for my team, but also for any representative who needs help. All of the information is here, and it's freely available to anyone who needs it. So this is what my blog looks like on the front page. It's onlinebeautybiz.com. Hi, Denise. Hi, Judy. Hi, Julie. Hi, Judy. Good to see you guys. Thanks for being here. So if you're on my blog, this is what it looks like. You see the welcome to my blog, and there's some posts there. On the right-hand side, you'll see a sign-up form where you can sign up to receive emails from me if you're not already getting them. Right below that is a search. So if you want to find something, you literally can go in here and search for it, and anything that, all kinds of things will come up according to your search. Or you can just click on a category. So if you want to know more about fundraising or getting started or leadership or, online parties, it's all here. Everything that's tagged with those categories will come up when you click on that. Now, if you're on a computer, the main part of the blog is here, and then you have the sidebar, so they're side by side. If you're on your phone, the sidebar moves down to the bottom underneath the blog post. So there's about 6 or so blog posts, and then right underneath that, you'll find the sign up to receive in the search if you're on your phone. So that's my blog. So today we are going to talk about this one right here, double your goal to achieve great success. And so, if there's one thing I totally believe in, it's the power of goal setting. And goal setting is one of the most important factors to achieve great success. Because when you set a goal and you write it down and you come up with a plan to achieve it, the chances that you will make it happen are that much greater. So we're going to talk about that today. But before we get into that, we're going to talk about our simple system to help you grow your business. So, there's really only 4 steps to growing your business. There's prospecting for new customers and recruits. There's getting a brochure, either paper or digital, to every customer, every campaign, following up with every customer that you give a brochure to, and then you take the order. So you take the order and you submit it to Avon and you deliver, or they go onto your Avon online store, they place their order there, and Avon ships to them directly. And then it's just rinse and repeat. So it's just those 4 things. So let's go over them really quickly. If you're brand new, we want you to create a list of everyone you know. And it's just for your own use. Nobody has to see it, but I want you to get it on paper, because if you get it out of your head, that frees up your brain to think about more people that you might know, and we're looking at trying to get 200 people on that list. Who do you know? Who do you go to church with? Who do you work with? Who's your neighbors? Who's your friends, your kids, friends, parents, everybody you know from everywhere. And then we're going to ask you to work through that list. And it's really simple. You just kind of pick a goal, 3 a day, 5 a day, whatever you want to do, and say, I'm going to just text them or send them a message on Facebook or email or however you want to do that, and just say, hey, I just started my Avon business. I'm so excited. Would you like to see an Avon brochure? It's just that simple. If they say yes, great, you get them an Avon brochure. If they say no, and then now you add them to the rest of the system that we're going to be talking about. You're going to get a brochure to them every campaign. You're going to follow up, and you're going to take the order, right? But if they say no, then hey, no big deal. It's not a big deal. They don't have to buy from you. Not everybody is going to buy from you. And so if somebody tells you no, don't let it get your feelings hurt. Because it's just like if you're a waitress in a restaurant, you ask somebody if they want a refill on their coffee. If they say no, thank you, you're not going to run and cry in the bathroom, right? Don't do it with your Avon business. No, they don't have to buy from you, and not everybody will. So you're just going through figuring out who will and who won't. That's all you're doing. It's just a sorting process. So, but if you're not brand new, and you've already worked through your list, now we need to find new people, because it's always in the new. Your business, people are going to get old, they're going to die, they're going to move away, they're going to fall off for whatever reason, you're going to lose customers. So you constantly need to be getting new customers, new recruits, new people into your business. And so that's the prospecting, right? And that's whether you go out and you talk to people as you go about your day. Maybe you talk to the cashier at Walmart, and you ask her, hey, you know what? I sell Avon, and we have this really cool digital brochure. Would you like to see one? And if she says yes, then you get her contact information. It's really simple. You just say, let me put you in my phone, and I'll text you the brochure. So you get her name and her phone number, and then you text the brochure to her. Now she goes on your list, right, of your follow-ups. You're going to get a brochure to her every campaign. You're going to follow up with her every campaign. And then when she's ready to order, hopefully she'll order because you stayed on top of it and you were really consistent. Maybe you go, I use drawing slips, and I go out and I stand in front of grocery stores and I say, would you like an Avon brochure, as they come walking out of the store? And then I tell them I mail my brochures. Would you like to get on my mailing list? And I use the drawing slips. There's lots of ways to do it, but you need to constantly be prospecting. Okay. So now you're going to get a brochure to every customer, every campaign. And then no questions asked. You're not going to get in your head about it. You're just going to do it. They're on your list. You're going to get a brochure to them every campaign. You promised them you would, so you're going to provide good customer service. And then you're going to follow up with every customer you gave a brochure to. We are all really, really busy, every one of us. And I'm going to be brutally honest. That person is looking at your brochure sitting on the toilet, or they're in bed and it's late at night, because it's the only time they have to themselves, maybe, to be looking at your brochure, and they can't call you right now with an order. If you don't follow up, you will not get that order. More than likely, they'll forget that they even had an order, and eventually they'll throw that book away. Or if it's on their phone and they're looking through a digital brochure, it's even worse. They'll forget, and there's nothing to remind them. So you've got to do the follow-ups. And that's how your business is going to grow. Hi, Kathy. Good to see you. Thanks for being here. So we have our Daily 8 system, which is to help you to be more consistent. And the idea behind the Daily 8 system is, if you're working in a job, you're working 8 hours a day, 40 hours a week. And so on our Daily 8 system, your goal is to capture 8 points a day, 5 days a week, for a total of 40 points a week. And you can do that in a whole lot less time than 8 hours a day, right? So it says, click here to print this sheet and use it to track your points. And so I already printed it. It's like 9 pages. You could just print one copy of it. And then on page 2, you'll want to make a bunch of copies of this one so that you can track it. You want to keep this right next to you on your desk or wherever you are, so that you can log what you're doing every day, right? So as you go through here now, you're going to get points for prospecting, for following up, for getting a brochure to every customer. And so first off, I give you 1 point for every name if you're prospecting for customers or recruits, team members. The first 2 are prospecting for customers and team members. So if you're brand new and you're texting people on your list saying, would you like a brochure? If they say yes, count that as a name. You already have their name. You already have their contact information, right? But just count that as a name. If you're out and about and you're meeting somebody in the grocery store or whatever, you get their contact information, that's a point. Right? Same thing. So now you've gotten these points. Now 2 to 3 days later, you're going to follow up with them. This is the only time that you're going to be doing this particular follow-up. It's just 2 to 3 days later. Hey, I met you at Walmart 3 days ago. Just checking to see if there's anything I can help you with. Or, hey, I texted you the book a couple of days ago. Just checking back to see if there's anything I can help you with. And then you're going to get them on your follow-up list. Now you're going to get a brochure to them every campaign. You're going to do follow-up texts or calls, or however you want to do that, emails, whatever. Every campaign to your customer, follow up, telling them, hey, my order's going in, or hey, the campaign's ending online, any of that, right? And then you get points for, we only give you 1 point for that, by the way, because we teach a system where with Campaign Mailer, where we mail our brochures, and it literally takes you like 1 minute to schedule that. Same thing with the follow-up text. We use Project Broadcast for that, and it literally takes you 1 minute to do that. If you're manually doing it, if you're driving around town delivering brochures, or if you're manually texting each person individually, give yourself a point for every hour that you spend, right? Because it's like 8 hours a day if you're working a job, so maybe 8 points could be equal to 8 hours. I mean, if you're doing that, or maybe a half an hour, whatever you want to do. This is your business. You're going to work it your way. The key is for you to be consistent, right? So then you're going to get a point for placing your order on Avon Now, and then you're going to sort and deliver your customer orders. Again, that depends on how many orders you have and how long it takes. You're going to give yourself more points than just 1, right? And then there's all these other things you can do to earn points, okay? So Kathy says, I'm reviewing project broadcast videos from the developer. I will use your code, so thanks. Oh, thank you, Kathy. I love project broadcast. You guys, you would die if you knew what I was spending there, because I use it for everything. I built my entire business with it. It's amazing. So anyway, that's print this sheet to track your points, right? And you can click here to download. It's the same thing. Then we have a Daily 8 challenge where we're here to support you, whether you're on our team or not. If you're not on my team, that's okay. I'm still here to support you. And so if you click here, it just takes you to a Google sheet where you can fill in your information and how many points did you get, and what were your wins this week? What did you do great? What did you accomplish? And what did you not do so well that you could do better next time? I am not here to judge you. I'm not here to go, oh, well, she did that or she didn't do that. That's not what I'm doing. All this is if you take the 2 minutes it takes to fill this out, you're going to already have your answers, because if you already know, hey, this worked, I'm going to do that again, right? Or you're going to say, this didn't work. I should have said this, or I should have said it that way, or I should have done this. Now you know for next time, and you're going to do it better next time. That's all that's for. It's not for me to judge you. This is not a judgment thing. This is so I can support you. And maybe you might put something in here that you're struggling with that I might have an answer to. In that case, I might email you and say, hey, I know you're struggling with this, try this, or here's a blog post about that, or whatever, right? To support you. I might send you a card and tell you how amazing you're doing, or I might recognize you in our Facebook group. So this is just here for me to support you. That's what that's for. Okay. And then be sure to join our Online Beauty Biz Facebook group. I think most of you are probably in that already, but here's our Facebook group. So be sure you're a member of that. And then there's a blog post about automate your follow-up. So this is what Kathy's talking about. And in this, I'm not going to go through it in great detail, but this post will take you through, and there's even a video walks you through everything. But what we do is when we're doing those steps, right, we get a brochure to everybody, every campaign. We use campaign mailer and we mail brochures. Or we text them if we're going to do a digital brochure, and we use Project Broadcast to text those brochures. And then we do a follow-up every campaign. And I do a pre-recorded voice message using dial my calls for my older ladies that just have a landline, that don't have a cell phone. You know, those 80, 90-year-old women that they love Avon, but you know, they need a little more attention. So I use dial my calls for them. And then I use Project Broadcast to text everybody who I have a cell phone. Those are my follow-ups. And all of it is in here, all the training about how to use it. There's links in here to even more details, okay? Yes, Kathy says, yes, automate follow-ups. I will let you know when I get it up and running. Yeah, you're going to be so happy that you did that, Kathy. You're going to be amazed at how much it's going to help you grow your business. I'm serious. And the idea being, if you're automating it, you're getting out of your own head. You're not saying, oh man, I texted her 6 times in a row for the last 6 campaigns and she hasn't ordered. I don't want to be a bug, so I'm not going to text her again. No, when you automate them, that takes you out of your head. You're not paying attention to who's getting the messages. You're just sending it as a bulk. You're just doing the task, right? Same thing with the books. You're getting the books out. And then it's freeing you up to be able to do so much more, because it takes all of these little time-consuming tasks off your plate. Instead of driving all over the city to deliver brochures and spending the whole day doing that, you could be growing your business. Hi, Sandy. Good to see you. Technical difficulties. Must be the heat. But anyway, yeah, so it's just using the system can free you up. I mean, I was just noticing on the calendar just before we got on here that my mom died almost exactly 2 years ago. Next week will be the 2-year mark when she died. But the last year that she was alive, we were called to the hospital. Like, I can't tell you how many times. My mom was in and out of the hospital. She was going uphill, downhill. You know how it is, right? And my business didn't even hiccup because I took my laptop with me to the hospital because we'd sit all day with my mom. But all of this stuff, it was already scheduled. It was already going out. And so it didn't miss a beat. I mean, we've been on a 2-week cruise 2 whole weeks on a cruise, and my business never even slowed down. My customers didn't even know we were gone because we did it all from the ship using our systems, and boom. And Kathy says, Agreed. Want to get out of the head.
Yeah.
Love the idea. Want to grow business and use systems that successful people like you used. And praying for your mom. Thank you, Kathy. Thank you. Unfortunately, we're all getting up there in age and we're all having to deal with that, right? Okay, so let's talk about doubling your goal to achieve great success. So as I said earlier, I really believe goal setting is one of the most important factors. When you set a goal, you write it down, you come up with a plan to achieve it, the chances are you're going to make it happen will be that much greater. And, you've got to have something that you're working towards. You got to have a goal. So there's many reasons why you need goals. So let's talk about that first. A goal gives you direction. Think about setting a goal as entering a destination in the GPS. You tell your GPS where you want to go, and it plots out a path for you to get there. And often, when we set a goal, we think of what we need to do to get there, and then we have the end goal in mind, so we're better able to figure out that path, right? I mean, even a cruise ship or even an airplane, they set in their GPS, in their system, they set where they're going, where they're going to end up at, but they have to constantly redirect because the wind blows them off, or the current in the water, whatever it is, it pulls them just a little bit off. And if they weren't constantly monitoring the path and heading towards the goal, they would overshoot it. They wouldn't even hit their goal. They would miss it. So it's really important to have that direction. A goal gives you focus. If you have a specific goal in mind, it helps you focus on what's important. It helps you to determine where you should spend more time and which activities are not worth your time and energy. And maybe in that case, these systems, right? It's because you want to spend your time growing your business and not spending your time doing the administrative tasks that just keep you where you are. And so those administrative tasks, such as getting a brochure to everybody and following up with everybody, that can be automated, right? So it helps you simplify that helps you focus on that, right? It helps simplify the decision-making process, because when you're focused on your goals, it's easier to make decisions. You have a vision in mind, and having that vision helps you determine what things you should pursue and which ones would not be a smart choice. So then when you're looking at a decision, should I do that event, or should I do this, or should I do that? Then you can ask yourself, will that get me closer to my goal, right? And Kathy says, yes, goals like using GPS. Great analogy. Thank you. Thank you, Kathy. Anitra, I didn't see you there. Been there now 8 years ago. 8 years ago. Are we talking about your mom? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It must be, right? Anyway, so sorry for you too, Anitra. I totally understand. Okay, so let's see, 4, you'll be more efficient. So when you're working purposely towards a goal, you're going to be more efficient with your time and energy, because you're not wandering around. You know where you're going, right? You know what you need to do. And so you're just a lot more efficient. You're going to have more confidence. So if there's something really empowering about having a goal and working towards it. When you know that you have a purpose that you're working towards, it makes you feel more confident. It's just like if for those of you that are working towards earning the trip to Hawaii next year, you know how much you need to sell. You know how much you need to sell every campaign. I hope you broke it down. And so every campaign, you know how much you need to sell. I look at my numbers every campaign. Did I make my goal this campaign? If not, then I need to push a little harder next campaign to make up for it. So there's no question at the end, I'm not going to be going, oh man, how come I didn't make it? Right? Because I've been working it all along. Yay, Hawaii! Sandy's like, she's already there. She's already there drinking Mai Tais. All right, so, and then number 6, it's easier to track your progress. So when you know what you're working towards, it makes it easier for you to see how far you've come and how much farther you have to go until you get to where you need to go, where you need to be, right? So the goals are critical. They really are. But there's a downside to goals. And this is something that's bothered me in my whole life. I mean, I do believe that goals are critical. I think I really think they're important, right? But I also feel like sometimes a goal can limit you. So what happens is you work towards a goal and you don't really think about going beyond it, right? So there's a popular saying that you should shoot for the moon, because even if you miss, you'll land among the stars. So my goal right now is to get back to where I was when I walked away from my Avon business. I was a senior executive unit leader. I had $65,000 a campaign in team sales. My goal is to get back to that. Well, I'm a far from that right now. I am really far from that. So if I set a goal to increase my business by 20%, I'm limiting myself to that 20% instead of getting to closer to my goal than I won't get to 65,000. I mean, a campaign this year probably, but I mean, I can get a lot closer than if I just limit it to a realistic goal, right? And so the popular saying, you should shoot for the moon because even if you miss, you'll land among the stars, right? Not technically true. I mean, after all, the sun is the closest star to our planet, but I love the message that it sends because if you're shooting for the moon, you might not hit it, but you might get to the stars, right? A lot farther than you thought. And Kathy says, wow, 65,000 a campaign. Yeah, I used to do that. Team sales. I used to do that 9 years ago or something like that. We're getting back to that. We're working on it. But so if you're going to dream big. I really believe that. Even if you don't reach your big dream, you're still going to achieve a lot more than you probably thought was possible to begin with. And but the flip side of this, is one negative about what I'm going to be telling you to do, is I don't want you beating yourself up. So the idea is I want you to double your goals, but if you don't hit that double goal, you need to take into account, oh my gosh, I went 1.5 times farther than I thought. Mm-hmm. So I did amazing, not beating yourself up because you didn't achieve that double goal, right? But so what you want to do is you want to think of an income or a team building goal, or where you want your goals to be, and then you want to double it. So if your goal is to sell $2,500 a month, then double it to $5,000, right? If your goal is to sponsor 4 people into your business, double it to 8. Why? Because you're likely to come very close to your goal if you're working it towards your big dream. And would you rather come close to $5,000 a month and fall a little short, or would you rather land at $2,500? Would you rather have a goal for 8 and actually enroll 6 than have a goal for 4 and meet the goal of 4? Right? So this is what I'm saying. So you need to just go for it, like balls to the wall, right? I mean, because this is what our business is about. Your business can be a residual income for you. It can bring you long-term income without you having to do a lot of work, but you got to get it off the ground first, just like that airplane, right? If you're flying an airplane, it takes everything, all the power, full throttle to get that plane off the ground. And then once it's up in the air, they pull back on the throttle and they're just, well, they're not really coasting. It's still propelling, but not at the same level as it was when it was getting off the ground, right? So let's talk about how you can set that goal. So the first step, think about what you need, right? So start with finances. How much money do you need to make each month to be satisfied? So this means being able to pay your bills and have some left over. If that's what you want to aim for is income, then figure out how much do you need to sell in order to make the amount of money that you need to make, right? You know what your income is based on. You know what your commission is based on your sales level. So kind of work it backwards. Figure out, okay, how much do I need to sell in order to earn that much, right? And then now that you have that goal in mind, double it. So if you need $2,500 to be satisfied, double it to $5,000. That's your goal. And then you need to make an action plan. What do you need to do each day and every week in order to accomplish that goal? Write down those action steps and refer to them every day. Set a plan. This is what I'm going to do every day. Use our daily aid sheet and add things in or edit them or whatever to make them so that they help you to reach your goals, right? And then set a deadline. And this is important because if you don't set the deadline, the goal isn't going to seem like it's official. It'll just be a dream. Right? A dream without a deadline is just that, it's a dream. If you put a deadline on it, setting a time when you're going to achieve this by, it creates that sense of urgency about getting it done. And then reward yourself when you hit milestones. So when you hit the certain goals on your list, celebrate in some way. This will serve to motivate you to keep going. Like if you're brand new and you're working on the pathway to success, the pathway to premier, that's about getting for every $200 within a single campaign, you get $20 bonus, right? And then then once you sell 5,000, you get a $50 bonus cumulative. And then once you sell, 500, you get a $50 bonus. And then once you sell 1,000 and then 2,000, you get these milestone bonuses. So you reward yourself, cheer yourself on when you do those. Hi, Linda. Thanks for being here. So that's going to help motivate you, right? Make it fun, right? And then number 6, let other people know about your goals. This way you have others to hold you accountable for reaching them. But be careful about who you include in letting them know about your goals. Because if it's not somebody that's going to support you, then you're better off not telling them about it, because they're going to drag you down, right? Some people will say to you, well, that's not possible for you to do that. Well, if you're that type of person that can say, watch me, like Sandy is, I know she is. But if you're that type of person that can say, watch me, then great, that's great. But if you're the type of person that having somebody else who you care about tell you that's not possible, you're hurting yourself, don't work to achieve that, maybe you're better off not sharing that with them, right? Find people who will support you in your goals. And then be your own cheerleader, because you can't depend on somebody else to support you, right? So get in front of the mirror, look yourself in the eye and say what you know to be true. I can do this. Commit to yourself face to face and really feel the power that you have inside of you. I used to have an uncle that would get up every morning and stand in front of the mirror and go, you are amazing. He would just pat himself on the back, right? And I was a kid and I thought, what an idiot. But you know what? Do it. Who's it going to hurt? Nobody's going to see you. You're talking to yourself in the mirror in the bathroom, and be your own cheerleader, because nobody can cheer you on like you, right?
Yeah, the bathroom is a good place to put up your goals too. Put a goal on the mirror, and then look in the mirror and say that goal to yourself. It's amazing how powerful that is.
Yeah, Richard and I will take our goal and we'll write it in lipstick on the mirror, and so that every time we are getting ready in the morning, we're looking in the mirror, we have our goal over our head. It's like right there, and it comes off easy off your mirror. So yeah. So Sandy says, watch me. See, I told you she was like that. Watch me. Please tell me it's not possible. It makes me work harder.
Right on.
Sandy, I don't know if you can earn that trip to Hawaii. And then Nitra says, I tell people, watch me do something all the time. So she's another one like that too, right? So Nitra, Hawaii, I don't know if you can do it, man. I don't know. Do you have what it takes? I bet you do, Will. I bet you do. Come on, Anitra. You need to be there.
Kathy, that's cool.
I love it. Pat on back. I want to hand out lays to customers who will help me on the way to Hawaii.
Right on. Right on. Yeah. You go, Kathy.
Woohoo. Woohoo. I'm probably going to get myself in trouble for saying this. Kathy, I think that's amazing that you're handing out lays, but be careful how you do that, okay? Because I have seen some people that I know, I've seen them on Facebook saying, we're going to Hawaii and you're going to help me. And they're like doing lives and they're saying, you're going to help me. You know how you're going to help me? You're going to place an order on my store. Well, you know what? To me, I think it's great to say, hey, I'm working to earn a trip to Hawaii and I'm going to make it worth your while, right? Every order, I'm going to give you a free lay or this or that, right? Can you see the difference? I so appreciate you for helping me out, and I'm gonna recognize you. I'm gonna give you a lay. I might have a drawing for everybody who enters, but to just get on and say, hey, you need to help us go to Hawaii by placing an order. That's like a whole different situation, and it rubs me the wrong way when I hear that. So, but anyway, yeah. So Kathy says. So Sandy says, well-behaved women rarely make history. We are not well-behaved. Yes, yes. And Kathy says, yes, I'm motivated if people say I can't do that. And she also says, I do believe, be careful how we say it. I'm definitely doing giveaways for it. Awesome, yes. Awesome. I just saw this recently. I mean, I see it all the time, but I just saw it and it kind of rubbed me wrong because these people were like, you have to place an order so I can go to Hawaii. And it's like, excuse me? No, they're your customer. They don't owe you anything. So anyway, yeah, let's move on before I get myself in trouble here. Anitra says, it's all about living the life I want. It's an NFB thing. That's the National Federation for the Blind. Those of you that don't know, Anitra is blind. And she says, we just finished our state convention. So you're probably pumped.
Yes.
Yeah, awesome. You're probably pumped right now because the NFB helped Anitra to be able to live her life as though she's not blind. I mean, you would never know she was if you were to meet her. And she does all kinds of things and she doesn't let anything hold her back. So I am really amazed by you, Anitra. I'm proud of you. So anyway, so here's the conclusion, right? So half the battle is being aware that there's always going to be challenges. You're always going to run into challenges as you work towards achieving your goal. And you might not always achieve. That's why you need to track it. That's why you need to set milestones. so that you know early on if you're off, or each campaign, if you're off that campaign, instead of waiting until the very end going, oh crap, I'm not even close, right? So, but once you realize and trust that there always will be a solution, there's absolutely nothing holding you back. You know, if you're watching where you're going, you're setting your milestones, and you, like for instance, if you're working towards the Hawaii trip and you know that you need to sell, I don't know what it is, 1,500 a campaign to get there, and you only sold 1,300 this campaign, then you know that next campaign you need to bump it up by 200 so that you always know where you're at, right? So you can find that solution. Maybe you might need to think about, well, maybe I need to find something else. Maybe it be a fundraiser, or maybe it be an event. I know that Sandy's out doing events. She's hooked up with some group where she lives that does all these events, and she's a part of them. So that's amazing. So it's about finding solutions. It's about finding, okay, what can I do to increase my sales, or what can I do to get me back on track, right? And then doubling your goal will help you set a big goal and then work out the plan to achieve it. And when you double your goal, even if you don't make that double goal, you're going to achieve success way beyond what you thought you could. You will. And that's just how it is. So that's really all I have. Do you have anything you want to add?
Yeah, I do. Early on in the talk tonight, Lynn mentioned about getting your business started and getting 200. I want to leave it right there because I'm gonna.
Okay.
She mentioned about getting 200 people on a list, and the reason for that is getting a business going is kind of a numbers game, and just a quick number. I bet you out of 200 people, if you actually had 200 people, you contacted them all and they were on your list, and you said, hey, it's time to place your order. I'm going to place my order, send me your order. You would probably be lucky to get 10% of those. So you'd probably get 20 people. Out of 200 people, 10% is 20. And you're going to get 20 people to place an order. And the reason that's kind of a really neat number is that if you get 20 customers, the average customer orders about $25. You're going to have about $500 in orders. That's going to be making you money. You're going to be in one of the top, probably the only 20% out of all the 100% of people selling Avon that would get $500 in a campaign. $500 in a campaign will get you to President's Club. Mm-hmm. And only 20% of Avon representatives out of 200,000, 300,000, 400,000, however many there are now, actually, sell over $10,000 a year. Now, the reason that's important is that another 10% of that, let's say you have 20 people ordering every campaign, well, you're probably going to lose 10% every campaign. So you're going to lose 2 people every campaign.
And they won't order every campaign.
And they won't, but I'm saying out of 200 people, they're not going to order every campaign. But if you get 10% of 200 ordering, you're going to get about 20 orders. But you're going to lose 10% of those. You're going to lose 2 people every campaign. And that goes back to our list that we have. The top of the list is basically recruiting, growing your business. And so if you're talking to 5 or 10 people every week or so, then you're going to be getting, let's say in the beginning you're not very good at it and you talk to 10 people, you get 1 customer. Well, that could help you. If you talk to 10 people in a week, you can get 1 customer, and then the next week you get another one. So you can replace those 2 that went away. But the more you do, the better you get also. Also at the bottom of that list is a thing about whenever you have spare time, it's time to grow your business and learn more about your business. And to me, this is really the critical part of our business. That when you have the time,
is this where you want to be?
No, I want right there. I don't want you to do anything.
Okay, sorry.
When you're doing your business, you have times late at night when people are sleeping, your customers are sleeping, you have times when you get to put your kids to bed, or maybe it's that time between 1 and 3 o'clock where if your kids are in school and now they're finally getting back to school and you have some free time. Whenever you have that free time, you want to learn more about your business. And the critical thing I'm going to talk about is this getting started. And the reason why this getting started button is so important. Yeah, the reason the getting started button is so important is, let's just say you bought a car. You go to the dealership, you buy the car, you drive it home, and then you don't know how to adjust the seat. So you call the dealership back. How do I adjust the seat? Then you say, where do I put the gas in the car? Well, they have an owner's manual. And 99% of the time, I bet you everybody here, when you buy a new car, you look at the owner's manual before you call the dealership back or call the salesman back or anything else. And that's the same thing with us. We're here to support you, but this getting started button right here is amazing. If you have a question about your business, click in the, she has a search button right over here. Click in the search for what you want to know and study it and learn it. If you still have,
then click here.
Yeah, and if you don't, then go to click getting started. But the key thing is, if you've gone through, applied yourself, you tried to learn it, break it down and chunk it down so you can understand it, because everything's a learning process. When you have any job or anything else, we're all in this learning process. But learn it, go through. And then if you have questions after that, feel free to ask us, because we have the knowledge to probably help you resolve it or try to figure it out or work through whatever problem it is you have with it. But really, the biggest thing that we can say for anybody starting this business is you're your own boss now, and you need to learn how to do it. If you have a pizza business and you open it up and you didn't get 200 customers that they knew that you would open up a pizza place, you wouldn't be selling very many pizzas. And it's the same thing here. But you just want to break it down and get your business going. Like Lynn gave that analogy earlier, when a plane takes off, you want it to blast off. When you buy an airplane ticket, you don't want a taxi halfway across the United States. You want to get up in the air and get going.
You don't want it to fall back down.
You don't want it to fall back down either. But you want to get there. You want to get there, and you start doing your stuff and having fun. So anyway, that's my 2 cents.
Awesome. Yeah, and so what Richard was talking about, and I don't want to go into it too far, but sometimes we get reps that will text us or email us and go, I can't do this, or how do I get customers? And that's a little vague. That's a little vague. I can't help you with that. How can I answer that, right? So that's where this blog, Getting Started, is going to really help you. And then if you have a question about, okay, if I do this and what happens then I can answer you if you have a specific question, right? Yeah. But to just say, and I see it in the Facebook groups all the time too, how do I get orders? Well, you pass out, you do these 4 things, right? You look for new people, you pass out a brochure, you follow up, and you take the order. That's how you get orders, right? And in this blog, if you look at sales or prospecting, you'll find lists of 100 ways to find more people. You'll find all kinds of stuff in here. So Richard's right. It's the owner's manual. So let me back up a little
there. I got him thinking.
So Sandy says, the list is alive. It's always growing.
Yes.
That is such a good point, Sandy, because you start, when you're brand new, you start a list. We want you to have at least 200 people on that list. And, you just make a goal to like call 5 a day or get 5 or 3 or whatever that say, yes, I want to have a book, right? And you work through that list, right? And you can cross them off, or but you need to be adding to that list. It's a living, breathing document. So you're going to be crossing people off. You're going to be checking them, moving them to your new list, to your automated follow-ups. But you constantly need to be adding to that list, because that living, breathing document is the basis of your business. I still have one. We've been in 20 years now. This is our 20th year. We still have a list, and it's still living and breathing.
Yeah, just to add on to that, I hear this thing a lot, and really, this is just simple life. If you, for me, like in sports, if you know of any basketball team or football team or baseball team, or even if you go to the grocery store, you see new faces all the time. The coach and the players change constantly in all the sports teams. If you go to the grocery store, managers move around in the grocery store. They either retire, they get fired, they get a new manager in, they move the managers around. The employees, you walk in and you have a brand new teller the next time you go in, a checker when you go in. So things are always changing, and your business is no different.
Yeah. And then Sandy says, really, only 20%. That means there's room for all of us. We're serious, and we will all be at the top.
You bet.
God, no kidding, Sandy. And you know what? Just to give you another story, Sandy, this you might have heard this before. You might even know, because we used to all live in California together. But when we were in California, I had a team in Fillmore, California. The population was what, 15,000?
15,000.
15,000 in Fillmore, California. It's just a little town, right? And we had, at the time, that was when we were selling 65,000 a campaign in team sales. We had, I don't know, 600-700 people on our team back then. And out of all those people, the top 10, I still do. I do every campaign. I do top 10, and I recognize our team. But at that time, out of our top 10, 5 or 6 of them were in Fillmore. This little town of 15,000 people. So you know what? If somebody says it's oversaturated or there's not enough business, trust me, there's no such thing.
Yeah.
Because if I could have the top 10, 5 of the top 10 sellers in this little tiny town, that's got to prove to you something. First off, 15,000 is an awful lot of people if you think about it. For 5 people, that's 3,000 each. So if you sell to 3,000 people, you're going to be making a lot of money. So there's lots of room to grow. Thank you for sharing that, Sandy. And then let's see, Kathy says, thanks, Richard. You are keeping our motors running. Owner's manual. Yeah, it's true. And then Anitra says, my dad used to tell me can't is not a word.
Yep.
It's not, right? And try is not a word. Either you do it or you don't, right? So that's what we have for you guys today. Is anything you're good?
No, I'm excited for everybody today. I just think that our Avon's just booming back. I know last year was a tough year for everybody, but I just think business is just going to be booming now. I really do, with all the new products and it's just an amazing time to be in Avon.
Yeah, we have so many amazing new products, you guys. I mean, I don't know if you saw the What's New in campaign 14. We're coming out with Sophie, which is organic femme hygiene products. And I had to laugh because, and I'm sorry if the person that said this is on this, hears this, I'm sorry if I hurt your feelings, but I just had to laugh because in one of the groups, somebody said, we're selling femme hygiene now. What's next? Sex toys? And I'm like, how can you even equate femme hygiene with sex toys? I mean, they're not even the same. Femme hygiene is a natural process for women, all women, right? But how cool is it that we not only have femme hygiene, but we have organic, natural products? I think that's exciting. I think that is so exciting.
Yeah. Do you really? I can't remember a call we were on. It was either 58 to 70% of all of Avon's facial beauty products are all vegan or plant-based. They're almost.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's way over 50% of our facial products, our skincare products are vegan or plant-based. It's amazing.
They're going out of their way to add more natural ingredients to products.
Yeah, and for those of you that have pets, which is 99% of America, we have shampoo now. We have shampoo for your dogs and an odor eliminator. Here's an odor eliminator too. And that's always a problem.
And those are healthy too for your dog.
And these are cheap. They're only like $10 or $12. They're really reasonably priced, and I mean, there's a huge market. I mean, you pick your little niche, and there's a market for it that Avon has the products for it now.
Yeah. Okay, so let's back up. Let's see, what do we get? That's awesome, Lynn. Lots of room to grow. There really is, you guys. There's so much room. Avon, I can't tell you how many, and you probably all have heard this too, how many times I meet a new person and I go, well, we have our Avon car, which is like wrapped Avon, you know that, right? And people will go, Avon, are they still around? I haven't seen a book in ages. So trust me, there is plenty of room to grow. There is tons and tons of room to grow. You just got to get out there and make it happen. So let's see. And then Sandy says, I heard something from an Avon Webby, and now it's my goal to eliminate the words Avon. Don't know they were still around. Didn't know they were still around. Yeah. So sorry, I didn't see that, but yeah, that's what Sandy said. And then buying some for my next events. Excited for people to know Avon is growing. Oh, we have everything, you guys. Natural products, yes. That pet shampoo is amazing. So there you go. There's a testimonial, you guys. Pet shampoo is amazing. So we are just like moving forward with Avon. I'm so excited with the direction we're going. It is amazing. And our opportunity is just wide open for all of us.
Yeah, Lynn gets mad at me for some of my corny lines I use, but I was out doing a show on Saturday, and a lady came up and says, Avon, I'm surprised they're still in business. I didn't know they were still in business. And I said, yeah, 135 years this year. I said I've been using the Avon skin product, and you can't tell that I'm that old, can you? She didn't laugh, but whatever. My jokes usually fail.
Yeah, well, the women love him though because he flirts with them. You guys are the bomb. Oh, Sandy, I love you. Woo-hoo, I love you. All right, you guys, that's it for tonight. We're going to be dark next Sunday because Richard and I have plans. We have somewhere we have to be. And then the next Sunday, the 20th, is Father's Day. And so I figure there's probably no reason for us to be live that night because all of you who have fathers or husbands or brothers or whatever are going to be tied up. So we will be back. We're going to be dark the next 2 Sundays. We'll be back on the 27th. So watch for that. And I plan on doing, of course, it's still in the planning stages, but I plan on doing some teaching you how to prospect on social media. So on the 27th. So anyway, have a great week.
Kathy's got another thing up there. She said,
make sure we get that in.
No, not that. The other one before.
Good joke.
Corny joke.
Do you think we should do a niche within our business? Do you know what, Kathy? Yeah. I think that if you focus on the products that you love the most, then that's how you're going to be the most successful that way because people really, if you're talking about something that you're really excited about, people are going to see that. And so rather than trying to push everything, if you talk about what you love, that's going to help you grow your business. And of course we have everything. We're going to give them a book, right? So so talk about what you like. So I don't see any problem with focusing on a niche. Don't limit yourself to the niche, but I don't see any problem with focusing on it. Yeah,
learn all the product knowledge you can on the different products, but if it's something you really love, I mean, the excitement shows through. That's true of any product.
Yeah, and then thanks, Lynn. Enjoy your time off. Happy Father's Day to all the dads.
Thank you.
Focus on the products we love most. Good idea. Yeah, it's true. Anyway, you guys, thank you. Thank you for being here. We'll see you in about 3 weeks, I guess.
Yes.
3 weeks from tonight, we'll see you. Have an amazing week. We'll see you online, and we'll see you in the Facebook groups. Bye-bye.